Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our weekly personal development webinar. I am excited to discuss Chapter 3 from the book that we are reading right now, Think and Grow Rich. Chapter 3 is about faith, and I had the opportunity to read this chapter last Thursday when I was flying to Orlando, and it absolutely blew my mind. I've got about 7 pages of notes that I'm really excited to share with you. And this chapter just blends in so well with the previous chapter about desire that we read. It's like peanut butter and jelly. They just go hand in hand. So I'm going to get started and I'm going to go through my notes with you. And I'm really excited to watch you guys grow from what you learn as much as I've grown from reading this chapter. So this chapter again is about faith. Faith is the head chemist in your mind. So think of your brain as a science lab, and faith is the head chemist of that science lab. Faith is a state of mind which is induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind. It's like auto-suggestion. Faith is a state of mind that you develop at will. Faith develops voluntarily. So you can choose to have faith or choose not to have faith. It's not something that you just automatically have. It's a choice. All thoughts which have been emotionalized, which means given feeling, and mixed with faith, begin to translate themselves into their physical equivalent. Thought impulses mixed with positive or negative emotions influence the subconscious mind. So understanding your subconscious mind that will translate your thoughts and impulses that are negative and or destructive just as easily as it will act upon constructive and positive thoughts. It again goes back to that what you think about, you bring about. You know, if you think about misfortune, if you think about bad luck, if you're doomed to poverty and failure, you can't catch a break, you know, why is this happening to me? This stuff always happens to me, blah, 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 blah. These people act as if it's out of their control. But then you take the people that have constructive and positive thoughts. They have desires. They have beliefs. They act as if it is in their control. So that's the big thing about faith is you act as if it's in your control versus out of your control. Visualize and see yourself already in possession of your desire. Faith is perfected through practice, not reading instructions. You can't pick up a book and read how to get faith. Like, don't get me wrong, we're reading about faith in this book. But there's no instruction manual of do step 1, do step 2, do step 3, and then you will have faith. It comes from within. Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. I'm going to read that again because that's deep. Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Faith is the starting point to accumulate your desire. Faith is the basis of all miracles and mysteries which have no scientific explanation. You know, how many times have you seen someone that has been healed medically that doctors say, we can't explain this. This doesn't make any sense at all scientifically. This is an absolute miracle. And those of us that believe in God say, we know that it was God. We have faith that God healed this person. We know that this is a miracle, and we know that there's no scientific explanation for it. You know, but if I didn't have faith in God, then I wouldn't believe that that was of God that performed those miracles. Faith is the only known antidote for failure. It's faith that keeps people going and going, regardless of their hardships, obstacles, and temporary failures. So again, think about people that are sick. Think about people that have an illness and they refuse to give up. They just keep going and they keep going and they keep going and they keep going. They're not giving up. They're going to find a way, and they just have faith that in the end it's going to be okay. Faith mixed with prayer is how one directly communicates with God. If you don't have faith, if you don't believe in God, you're not going to be able to communicate with God. Faith is the element that transforms ordinary thought into spiritual equivalent. People will believe whatever they continually repeat, whether it is true or false. And, if you really think about that, I'm sure that you guys have met people in your life. I know that I certainly have, that are what I call, just compulsive liars. But they actually lie so much that they start to believe their own lies. They really do. They think that what they're telling is the truth because they've said it so much over and over and over and over that subconsciously they trick their brain to believe that it's actually the truth. It's not a lie anymore. I am who I am from the dominating thoughts I allow to occupy my mind. Again, that's a really deep thought. So I am who I am from the dominating thoughts I allow to occupy my mind. Thoughts mixed with any of the feelings of emotions constitute a magnetic force that is like a seed. You plant that seed in fertile soil, you water it, and it will germinate, grow, and multiply. You attract that which dominates your mind. So whatever your thoughts are in your mind, that's what you attract. Whatever your ideas are in your mind, that's what you attract. Whatever your plans are in your mind, that's what you attract. Whatever your purposes are in your mind, that's what you attract. Any idea, plan, or purpose can be placed in your mind through repeating a thought. That is why we were instructed in the last chapter to write out our desire specifically and then repeat it every morning and every night. Because again, you're repeating it over and over and over, you start believing it. Throw off any influences or any unfortunate environment. Build your life to order. You're going through the drive-through of life. Pull what you want off the shelf. Build your life to order. We were created to prosper. Your greatest weakness is self-confidence. This is true. God created us all to prosper. He created us all differently. We're all special, and He wants nothing but the best for all of us. Turn your self-confidence into courage. So this is a little bit long, but I feel like it's really important to go through all of this because there are people that do get on our webinars that do struggle with self-confidence, and I see them growing in huge spurts. I mean, it's just amazing how much people have come in just these few short weeks we've been doing this personal development webinar, and that just touches my heart so much. So I'm going to go through this because, I want it to be here on this recording so you can watch it over and over and over again, and you can grow from it. So those of you struggling with self-confidence, here is the self-confidence formula. Number 1, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Number 2, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in and outward physically and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the taste of thinking if the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Number 3, I know through the principles of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object behind it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. I think you're worth 10 minutes a day. Do you? Number 4, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Number 5, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. I love what this says because I really firmly believe in paying it forward. I believe that life goes full circle. I believe that we do serve others. You know, we all go through positions in our life where we are in a situation where we have it to give. And I always say, give it when you have it to give. And then at the same time, you know, we've all gone through positions in our life where we've found ourselves where we've been the ones that have been the ones that people gave to us. And for me personally, it's very hard to have someone give to me. It's so easy. At my heart, I'm just a natural giver. I love to give. But it's humbling when you have somebody giving to you, and it's kind of like you have to swallow your pride. And that's been difficult for me in my life. But as an adult, you know, I've learned that we all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and you know, give what you have, you know, and it's all about serving others and paying it forward, and life just goes full circle. So going back to the book, this formula works if it is used constructively. Looking back on this, you know, reading through this formula, you are conquering fear. You're not only building self-confidence, but you are conquering fear. After all, the subconscious mind will translate into reality a thought driven by fear just as readily as a thought driven by courage or faith. Those with the mind of fear, doubt, and unbelief find themselves in negative situations, including physical ailments, disease, and even death. Again, what you think about, you bring about. We all possess the seed of achievement in our brain. We all possess it. Is yours sleeping or aroused? Ask yourself that. Miracles are faith. Force and fear are on their way out the door in corporate America, being replaced by faith and cooperation. So really let that absorb into your brain for a couple minutes. Again, force and fear are on their way out the door in corporate America, being replaced by faith and cooperation. Give before you get. I loved that. It just, when you start giving, it automatically just comes back to you. Riches begin in the form of a thought. It is your thought that can set limits, but faith removes limitations. So again, this was such a powerful chapter for me. Thank you for bearing with me. When I kind of was reading some of my notes, I was writing them down as I was flying, and it was a bit turbulent on our plane. So I was looking at a few of my words over here going, what in the world does that say? So next week, we're going to come back here next Thursday, discuss chapter 4. Chapter 4 is on auto-suggestion. So I know that it talked about, when you speak it over and over again, your brain goes on auto-suggestion. So I'm really excited to see everything that this chapter has in store for us. I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to grow. I'm just excited to come back here and teach you guys next Thursday, and I'm excited to see you guys grow. Have a wonderful evening. Have a blessed week, and I will see you next Thursday.